Hi everyone, I am Ketra. Welcome to your reading for Sagittarius, and this is for the month of July. So as always, these are collective readings, and therefore the messages may not resonate with you, and if they don't, that's okay. If you feel this message resonates for somebody that you know, please feel free to share my video. As always, a huge thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe, and a thank you out there for my viewers. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a few oracle cards for our reading. We're going to use a couple of these guys here. And we're going to use YouTube here. And then we're just going to kind of dive right in. I've also made notes of your standout days for the month of July and your challenging days for the month of July. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you. All right. So I hope you guys are all doing super fantastic. Definitely looking forward to the month of July. So let's see what you guys are looking at for the month of July. You have the Queen of Swords. You have the Queen of Cups. And you have the Moon. You have the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Two of Pentacles. And you have the Seven of Swords. You have the Temperance card. Six of Cups. 10 of Swords. Interesting. So interesting. Let's take a look at these oracle cards here. Soul Awakening and Raise the Bar. Soul Awakening. You're quite irresistible when your mind and your heart pulse in the same rhythm. Why spend your days fighting yourself? You have better things to do. Raise the bar. When you set higher standards for the people and situations in your life, you create space for new levels of joy and abundance. Rise above old patterns. Absolutely. Love that for you. It is a weird electronics day. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards for the month of July. It looks like you've got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. And it's interesting because they're facing the opposite directions. And then you have the Moon card here too. So it feels like you are in a bit of a confusing time right now. The Queen of Swords, she is rising above. She's risen above the clouds in the card, just simply looking at the card. But it just feels like you're looking for that clarity and you're looking for that emotional connection. It feels like there's some sort of disconnection between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. They're just both in opposite directions right now. So I feel like maybe your words aren't being heard, or there's words that have been said that are being felt very deeply in your heart, or there's some kind of confusion going on with you guys right now. So let's go ahead and we're going to clarify our first row here with that Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and that Moon energy. All right, so let's take a look at our Queen of Swords. Wow. You have the Queen of Swords, clarifying the Queen of Swords. And so for me, hold on, let's go ahead and clarify the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Cups, and our Moon is clarified by Justice. Okay, so something that is very much off balance. Something is very much off balance, and I don't know if it has to do with a specific situation or a person, but it just definitely feels like you're out of balance right now. That Queen of Swords, you're just really wanting deeply that connection to clarity and to truth and to fairness and balance. And that Queen of Cups, she's clarified by the Seven of Cups. And so it feels like there's too much going on. It feels like that like nothing is clear right now for you, especially with the way that I laid this card down. It's just like a crisscross. Like you can't figure out what's going on right now. You've heard too many things, or there's too many thoughts in your head right now, and you can't figure out what your heart feels right now. That's literally what I feel from that Queen of Cups right now, especially when when she's looking down and she's looking at that cup. But, typically I get like a very emotionally balanced feeling with the Queen of Cups, but I'm not getting that from the card right now. The only thing that I kind of just simply focused on was that look on her face. And that's the feeling that I got, just this look of like emotional sadness. And then you have the Seven of Cups here. And so for me, that's, like what is going on? Like you're trying to emotionally figure out what is going on right now. And then you had the Moon card, which really can be, illusions or, kind of like a get back on your path kind of card. Because that's really all that needs to happen in this card is when you're kind of in the Seven of Cups kind of energy where you've got a lot of things going on in your head and you just don't know which direction to go. Just keep going on the path that feels emotionally balanced. Keep going on the path that feels right. But I think that you have to get a little bit more information. You have the Justice card here. So you're literally calling out for clarity. You're calling out for justice. You're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't figure this out. I don't like this feeling. Let's go ahead and we'll see if we can clarify that Justice card too. What is the justice that they're seeking? So I think that there's been some sort of major disappointment for you. This isn't a major arcana card, but because of the way I feel from these cards, it just feels like, and my ears are ringing so loud, it just feels like there has been a huge disappointment for you and you just want some clarity moving forward. And so what you need to do is just call on the divine to ask for some strength. Ask for some strength and some clarity in this situation, as you did get the Strength card here in reference to the Justice card and the Four of Cups and the Moon card. So you're going to need to call on some strength from the divine, I feel like. So I think for a second, we're going to pause and we're going to look at the oracle cards here. It is trust and new beginnings. I believe in life and the strength within me, as you just got the Strength card. Every moment guides me closer to the light, and I trust that everything on my path, even the challenges, is part of my journey towards growth and progress. And you have new beginnings. When one door closes, I trust that another will open. I embrace life's challenges, seeing them as opportunities for growth and learning. With an open heart, I welcome the new beginnings that await me. So that's those two. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to look at your standout days and your challenging days just for a moment. Sagittarius, your standout days are July 5th, lucky high vibe day, ideal for travel, learning, teaching, and saying yes to a new opportunity. July 9th, expect a flash of insight or exciting news. Lucky you. Great for creative projects. July 22nd, your confidence is high this day. Be bold and expressive. Your challenging days are July 15th, pause and reflect day, mixed messages and emotional confusion. July 21st, be cautious of unrealistic ideas or miscommunications. And July 25th, focus on grounding. It's a detailed, heavy kind of day. It could feel constraining to your free-spirited nature. So let's go ahead and take a look at how you progress through the month. Progression through the month looks better. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. Nine of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you put a lot of work into your current situation. The Nine of Pentacles, she definitely had to put a lot of work into having that abundance in her life. So I think what you're being called to do right now is, as you move through this situation, you're asked to be very diligent in how you move forward, how you treat yourself. And that makes sense that I feel that way because in your last row, you have the Six of Cups, and that's really when you want to kind of focus on your inner child, but we'll touch on that in just a second. Nine of Pentacles, really to achieve that energy, it's time to make sure that you're putting the work into yourself, and you're also needing to kind of find balance. You've got the Two of Pentacles here, find that balance, but it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like you're being weighed down, especially when the Two of Pentacles comes up. When you look at the card, he's got this funny little hat on here, and it's kind of extended. So I think this is like a nod to, my ears are getting so loud, to reach up to your higher self, to reach up to the divine. Ask for that intuitive guidance as you navigate through your month of July. And then just be mindful, because again, be cautious of unrealistic ideas or miscommunication. Avoid overpromising. I feel like the miscommunication or unrealistic ideas kind of ties into the Seven of Swords here. The Seven of Swords, typically for me, is when you've learned to do something in a different way. But for me, for today, I really do feel like this card is just be mindful of things that are happening around you. Be clear about the situation, and possibly definitely take another approach to the situation that this kind of like plays out and in through the month. Because again, there's another tarot deck called After Tarot. And in the After Tarot, the Seven of Swords, he's about to step into like this like little trap. And so it's just be mindful as you're moving forward. If you're going to do something in a different way, just be clear about the way that you want to do it. So we'll go ahead and we'll clarify this row also. So tell me why the Nine of Pentacles is here. I feel like they have some work to do to achieve that Nine of Pentacles energy. Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, I feel like with that Nine of Pentacles, it's really emotionally take charge. Just emotionally take charge to achieve that Nine of Pentacles kind of energy. Just emotionally take charge. It's kind of like that, be your own knight in shining armor is kind of what I'm getting from that. And then you'll achieve that Nine of Pentacles kind of energy. Your Two of Pentacles is, for me, again, that's balance. And then you have the Star card. And so for me, my Star card means I focus on one thing. I focus on the thing that is most beneficial to me right now, or that would be most beneficial to help others. What is my drive and where am I driven? And then once I have that idea in my mind, part of my kind of core values, that's where you then find that balance. So figure out what it is that you want to do moving forward. And that seven, I knew there was something different about the way I felt about the Seven of Swords. Again, find something that you have to kind of handle it in a different way. And when you do, it's going to be kind of like life-changing. This is the Death card. That's a card of rebirth, change, and be accepting of the situation. Accept the situation and maybe handle it in a different way than you would have before. So let me take a look at something really quick. Yeah. So you've got to be one of the first signs where you don't have any wands. And so when wands are missing, it's kind of like a lack of passion. You need to ignite that passion within your life. You need to kind of, nope, not you. You need to kind of ignite that drive that you have. You're wanting to find balance. You're needing to do something in a different way. And then you have the Temperance card up here. Why am I grabbing you just yet? Our Temperance card, kind of like to round out the end of the month. It's trying to achieve that balance. It's taking one thing and moving it into another and just kind of like figuring out what it is that you want to do. And what you really not want to do is, again, it's the Star card. It's what is that one thing that you want to focus on. So we have kind of like a star in the back here. And once you kind of figured out the path that you want to go on, kind of that Two of Pentacles kind of energy, you just kind of go on the path to glory. That is literally what you want to do. And I think that is achieved when you pay attention to your inner child. You pay attention to yourself. Just kind of give yourself a little bit more this month, because you're ending a cycle. The Ten of Swords is really something is dead, done, over with. Whatever this situation is here, I feel like it's definitely tied to whatever's happening here at the beginning of the month for you. But we'll go ahead and we'll clarify this row too. before we look at our last oracle cards over there. So our temperance is clarified by the Ace of Cups. Absolutely. Whatever it is that you're trying to do to move forward, go with it from that heart chakra kind of feeling. Like when your soul feels happy, when you feel like I want to do that, like when somebody invites you to go somewhere and you're like super excited about that feeling that you get, that's what you want to do to kind of guide you on your path moving forward, is that Ace of Cups energy. That Six of Cups is clarified by the Lovers. Yep. Pay a lot of attention to yourself this month and love yourself. Love yourself abundantly. And then the Ten of Swords is clarified by the Page of Pentacles. So for me, that tells me it's like kind of like, okay, this cycle is done. What did you learn? What did you learn at the completion of this cycle? That's what I feel with that card. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at your 2 oracle cards here. These are Unicorn, Oracle of the Unicorn. It is gentleness and intention. Intention. Be clear and decisive. Focus on what you really want. Be bold with your requests to the universe. And gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness and speak words of love. I think this gentleness card goes along with your Six of Cups. Because if you look at the card, look how gentle and sweet and kind they're being to each other. They're just being giving and loving and kind. And then it was clarified by the Lovers card, which absolutely, I always say that this is like our higher selves, our angels that are watching over us, and they're watching us and they're guiding us, especially when it's such a, I feel like you need to kind of maybe just focus in on yourself, focus on loving yourself, focus on what you can do for yourself. Because again, with that gentleness, and let's just look at that card because she's just so pretty. And again, it's igniting that passion. The wands are missing from your reading, and that's really telling me that just ignite that passion within you. So let's go ahead and we will end with a couple of our Spirit of the Animal Oracle cards, just to kind of end our reading. As always, again, I am available next week. I just keep forgetting to mention, maybe I did. It's been a lot of readings today. I am available next week for personal one-on-one readings. Just send me an email or make a comment, and let's see how we can kind of sync up our schedules. But we're going to go ahead and get Hummingbird Spirit. Be here now. We also have, hold on. We have Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. Absolutely. We kind of think sometimes we're going one direction and then things happen and we're like, okay, now we see why we went in that direction. And then you have Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. Absolutely. All right. Again, thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing and helping me reach as many souls as possible. Take care, and until the next video, have a great rest of your day.